Mic check. We are live. Here we go. We are live. Sounding very enthusiastic today. So this weekend we are at the Circuit of the Americas based in Austin, Texas. We have 12 people racing today. Obviously all currently in the pits. Let's see who goes out first. Whilst we're waiting on now, I'll give you some nice facts and figures about the Circuit of the Americas. Like I said, it's based in Austin, Texas, in America. It's a 5.513 kilometer lap, 20 turns that run anti-clockwise. Obviously, one of the big talking points about this is the 133-foot climb up to turn number 1. All right, we have some people on the track now. We have Van Bergen, who's currently out, and Alex, who is currently leading the charge. Obviously, just going through the S's there, which is based on the on Silverstone. So this is a custom-made track that was actually made purely for racing. Coming down the hill now into turn number 11, heavy braking zone. If we get the traction and everything right here, it will set you right up on this long straight. The DRS zone coming up right here. And turn number 12 coming up. This will be crucial for overtakes. Again, another heavy braking zone. Sharp left turn. If you hit the accelerator just right here, you'll be able to get past your opponents. And get this nice winding bit just full of chicanes. Going into what they would call the stadium section. And then we have the right turns, which is based on Istanbul, actually. Let's see how we get on. We are expecting the pole position lap to be around 1 minute 30. Here we go into turn 1 now. Coming out, open up that DRS straight into the 133-foot climb into the blind apex. Sharp left turn down into second gear. Hit the throttle hard and that's it, we're off. Coming into the SS section, people are going to flirt with the track limits around about here. Coming through nicely. Downshifting into 5th. Very early into 4th, I would say. Coming down now into turn 11. This is where we hit the battery. A little spin there from Alex. Opening up that DRS, and off he goes, straight down into turn 12. That's a 101 on the second sector. Now coming through into the stadium section. We're now into the 3 right-handers. This is where you can make or break some of your lap times. That's it, down into turn 20. What are we looking at? We're looking at a 132 flat. Van Bergen is coming up now on a 131.9. Taking pole, provisional pole for the time being. 007 Baba, he's a new addition. He's been driving very well so far. It's a P3, Weybridge on P3 as well. Jamie is also a new addition, coming now into the right-handers. This corner just eats your tyres. Down into third gear, and we're looking at a 131.7 provisional pole for Jamie. Focus has just done a 101 in the second sector. Coming into the stadium section now. He'll be right near the very top. Very good, clean driver. And what's it going to be? It's going to be a 1:31.9. Taking P3 for the time being. PK coming up now. Taking his first lap. Heavy braking zone. Oh, locked up a little bit there. That's it. Hitting the throttle very hard coming out of there. Now into the SS section. Like I said, people are going to be flirting with the track limits around about here. Oh, bit of a spin. Heading up the hill now. I need to fourth hitting that battery now. The ERS straight into turn 11. Might even get a nice little toe here. Very aggressive driving from PK. Opening up that DRS. Nice little toe. Coming into turn 12. What a beautiful toe from iPack. Just loves it when it lines up like this. That's a 1:01 in the second sector. It's been around about the average time so far. Coming into the stadium section in sector 3. Always slippy going through there. And now we're going into the right-handers. There are 3 right-handers based in Istanbul. Turn 19. Coming up to turn 20, the last turn while we're looking at here. A 1:32.1 P6. I think it can definitely improve a lot here. I think there was a lot of hitting the accelerator very hard, very early. A little bit too much, a bit of wheel spin. I think we can definitely expect PK to be in the 1:31s. So Bubba's gone for another lap by the looks of it, maybe. Into turn 19. Oh, took a very early apex there into the pits. Van Bergen is out for another outlap. He fancies his chances at pole this weekend. Right, whilst we're waiting for Van Bergen to do another flying lap, let's give some more facts and figures about the Circuit of the Americas. It was added to the F1 calendar actually in 2012. Officially opened on the 21st of October 2012 by Mario Andretti. On a normal race weekend, it is 56 laps, just over 308 kilometers. And we've got now Van Bergen coming up to turn 11, ready for another flying lap. Warming up his tyres, down into third gear, into turn 20. And now we're out, opening up that DRS and off he goes. Now into the heavy braking zone at turn 1. Oh, a bit of a lock up. Nice and easy on the throttle, very nice. Now coming into the SS section. Very nice. Now downshift. Beautiful. Now going up the hill. Oh, nice on the track limits. Down the hill into turn 11 now. This is where we're going to see some of the overtaking being done as well. Get your traction done on here, and you're very good. This is going to be a good lap from Van Bergen. Eason sets a new fastest lap. 31.5, 2/10 quicker than Jamie. Coming into the stadium section now, it's very tricky to get the throttle just right. Coming out of there, and we're back on. Plenty of battery to roast here. Here he goes, keeping it very tight. Very early turn. Going into turn 20. What is it going to be? It's a 120, a 130, 16. An improvement. Still not quite there. Eason, one to just a hundredth quicker. Let's have a look what Johnny's up to. Johnny Oda. Turn 19, coming up to turn 20. Very late on the throttle there. P4, very good lap. Focus coming through the S's now. Coming up the hill. Now down into turn 11. Might even get a little bit of a toe if he's lucky. From his teammate PK, very beautiful toe. Is it going to be a 1 flat into sector 1? 101, 2 tenths down off his previous. Coming into the stadium section now. It's such an awkward turn. Then after this you are on the ERS, full throttle into the right-handers. Here we go into turn 19. Taking it very nicely into turn 20. What's it going to be for focus? From P6 to... oh, that might be a track limit. Into P3. Very nice. Let's have a look at Baba, who is on another... it doesn't look like he's on another lap, actually. Not sure whether PK is currently on a flying lap or not. Looks like they might be. Heavy braking zone. Nicely done. There we go. So he might be getting a nice little toe from his teammate Focus. Going into turn 12. Very nice. Where is he going to be at the end of sector 2? He is 4 tenths down, almost 5 tenths down. Into the stadium section. Coming in, he's going to get the turning right, get the traction. Nicely moved out the way from Weybridge into the Istanbul rights. Turn 19 coming in. This could well be a great lap. He's going to move up from P8 for sure. And he's going to land at P1 from PK. Nice. He is 7,000th of a second ahead of Eason. That is margins, absolute margins. Right, so we've got Eason coming up now. He's on an outlap by the looks of it. Let's see what he can do. Is he going to cook? Oh, and he's into the pits. Okay. I'm bagging on another outlap. Of it, turn 11. Weybridge, who's taking the V Cup this weekend. It's not usually for him to be down so far down the pecking order. He's usually right near the top. Very great young talent for the PSRL. Right, we're coming up to turn 19 into turn 20 onto the starting straight. Taking it very slowly, and here we go. Very heavy on the accelerator. Coming up to turn 1, which is a blind apex going left. We're going, if you get your traction right, just right here, you'll be fine going into the S's. Very tight corner in from Weybridge. Downshifting nicely. Oh, that looked like might have been a track limit. Still going into turn 11 now. Cutting that nicely and into the DRS straight now. Opening up that DRS and going in towards turn number 12. What was that? That was a little wobble. I think he's abandoned it. So what are you driving for? The Ferraris. Coming uphill. Just at the beginning of sector 2. Down the hill into turn 11. So what he generally is not this far down either. He's also a very good driver. Van Bergen has hit a new 31.5. Eason is now on his flying lap. Into turn 1, taking that a bit wide. Very hard on the accelerator. Going into the S's now. Heading down to turn 11 now. If anybody's going to threaten that, Jamie's taken pole with a 1:31.4. Easton now coming up, opening up that DRS. What is sector 2 going to be like for Eason? Here we go. Is it going to be a 1 minute flat, a 1:01, 3 tenths down of his previous? He could well be on for pole here. Coming into the stadium section and now going into the 3 right-handers. Into the Andretti. It's going to be a 1:31.2. We've got a 1/10.5 quicker than Focus. And that is it. Got Van Bergen in the pits. That's it. Everybody's done. Looks like this is your lineups. We've got pole position for Eason Liu 25. Focus at game at P2. And Jamie making up P3 with Van Bergen. Johnny Ode at P6. He's been driving a 1:32s on a time trial, so he's definitely quicker than that. And now we are moving into the sprint race, which is going to be a reverse grid for the top 10. And the reason that we're doing these little sprint series is because we are waiting for the DLC from F126 to come out. And what we don't want to do is have a full-blown racing calendar midway through the launch of the game. So we're doing this little sprinter series. So it'll be a sprint race with a reverse grid from the top 10. followed by a 35% race. And we have rain. This is going to make things very, very interesting. So we should be quitting and going back into it. So you might see a bunch of people just about to crash their cars. That is it, we are retiring so we can form the grid. So this is not the actual race. For anybody that's just tuning in now, we are just having a little bit of fun trying to get everybody DNF'd. P1 for Johnny Oda. Who's the last one to crash his car. There we go. We'll see you back in the lobby. So we are now setting the grid. We're now setting the grid. It's going to be a reverse grid for the top 10. And here we go. We're ready for 14 laps of racing at the Circuit of the Americas. Just waiting for the players to come into the lobby. As I explained before, it's going to be a reverse grid for the first 10. Meaning that if you finish 10th in the qualifying, you're going to be on P1. And the reason for this is that we have a fun little sprinter series because we are waiting for the downloadable downloadable pack for F126. What we don't want to do is have a full-blown season going into that new game coming out. Obviously, we want to see what it's like. So there's a lot of rumors saying that it's going to be pretty much the same game as before, just, you know, new liveries and stuff. So we will have to see until it comes out. Everyone's just getting their race strategy and everything ready. I'm assuming this is going to be a one-stop. I'll be very surprised if anybody does a pit stop during a sprint race. It's only 14 laps. Is anybody going to go for the softs? Because this track can eat your tyres, especially through the large right-handers at the end that head down into turn number 19. And also a little bit through the S's. Obviously, there's a couple of hairpins within here as well. So we'll have to see whether people are going to opt for the mediums or going to go for the softs. I'm assuming there's going to be a little bit of a mix between both. We're going to ready up in 2 minutes. So for the official F1 race lap record here was actually set by Charles Leclerc in 2019 at 1:36.1. Are we going to see anyone hit that? Probably, because there's obviously less fuel on board. Well, let's see who's the first one to break it. Obviously, turn number 1 being the big danger here. A massive 133-foot climb into a sharp left. That's 41 meters for all us Europeans out there. All right, we should all be readying up now. Getting ready for the race. And here we go. All the 5 lights coming on. And they're off. Weybridge and P1 coming up to turn 1 now. Is anybody going to be brave? Oh, and Alex trying to go on the outside. He's just made it. Now in P1, and Weybridge just making a move. Going through the S's now. Everybody looks pretty clear so far. Got a couple of penalties from Sir Watty and PK. Van Bergen is chasing 007 Baba. Weybridge has dropped right down. There's a lot of fighting going on here. Johnny Oda on the outside. Weybridge taking the inside. Going down to there as it's lap number 1. There'll be no DRS now. Who's got the better straight line speed between Johnny Oda and Weybridge? Looks like it's Johnny Oda. Well, Weybridge is still taking the inside. Going into the stadium section now. Humphrey still taking the outside. Is he going to switch back in? Oh, and IPAC has gone straight into Weybridge. I wonder if there's any damage on it whatsoever. Let's have a look what's happening at the front of Van Bergen in P3, chasing 007 Baba. Alex have set a 1:34.8 from his starting lap, so he's going to be much quicker on that second lap. It looks like he is flying at the moment. Easton is making a move on the inside. He's letting Focus go. Johnny Oda coming through. Weybridge potentially might have some damage from that impact with IPAC. Easton is chasing Focus now. Coming up the hill, is he close enough to make a move here? It looks like he's going to leave it for the time being. Going into the DRS zone, which a Focus will not have, so we should expect an Easton overtake here. He should have his DRS wide open. Focus is not defending that. Taking it on the inside. Very close. Still on the inside. Easton is taken on the outside. No, he's going to bide his time. He's going to bide his time for the time being. Weybridge still following on Johnny Oda. Weybridge needs to get his act together because he'll be out of DRS if he's not careful. Oh, and Weybridge spins! Oh, bad luck. Bad luck, and he ends up in P12. Unlucky for Weybridge. Easton is now coming up to Focus again, trying to make a move. But Focus has covered him off nicely. Very good clean racing, the cleanest racing league out there, PSRL. Going into the SS section now. There's going to be no moves made here. A bit of a spin from Focus. Oh, and Focus is off as well. Unlucky. Easton on his way in. 2.5 seconds behind Jamie, who will probably not have DRS. So he could make up some time here. Weybridge has got a 3-second penalty. Multiple warnings. Oh! And that looks like it was Sir Watty and PK coming together. What is going to happen here? Who has DRS, who doesn't? Both of them have DRS. PK doesn't have DRS at the moment. Going into the stadium section now. Focus right behind him. A lot of wheel spin going on with Sir Watty right up his spoiler. Going into the right-handers here. PK is going to need to defend hard, as Sir Watty and Focus will probably take him going into turn 1. Coming into turn 19 now. And now onto the starting straight. So it looks like we're going to be seeing Focus making a move, or Sir Watty. No. Covering him off for the time being. Sir Watty right up his backside. Got some battling going on here. Is IPAC going to try and switch back Jordan? And he is. He's going to make it stick. He is. Go on, IPAC. Weybridge is currently in the pits. I'm assuming he must have had some front wing damage from that little spin he took maybe, or from that crash with IPAC earlier on. We will find out in the steward's room. Baba is currently leading in P1. Alex right behind him. He's going to open up the DRS. He's going to make a move here. Van Bergen right behind them, biding his time. Focus is currently looking like he might be making a move. I think he's just defending from Sir Watty, whilst trying to also protect his teammate PK. Going into this left-hander here. And now into the right turns here at Cotta in Austin, Texas. Focus at game. PK is gaining time on Johnny Yoda. He needs to get into that DRS if he wants to try and stop Sir Watty from overtaking both of them. I'd pack with a 3-second penalty, multiple warnings. I told you they'll be flirting with it. And this is it. Looks like Focus might be making a move here to try and cover off Sir Watty as well. And is he going to make it? Oh, they've gone 3 wide out of turn 1. Doesn't make it. He does make it stick. PK lost 2 places from turn 1. And it looks like that Focus and PK are obviously working in tandem together, making sure that they're sticking into the DRS. Sir Watty will not have DRS going out of turn 11. So Focus and PK should be taking that position back over. Should be 7 tenths behind them. DRS wide open for Focus and PK. Big lockup from Focus. So watching right in between them now. Coming into the stadium section. So Watty the only one hitting on the medium tyres. Weybridge has gone onto the hards for some reason. I think there might have been a mistake. And Focus is going into the pits. Going into the one-stopper. PK following Sir Watty into turn 1. PK making sure that he's staying within the DRS range. Bubba is now bringing up a massive lead. 2.5 seconds in front of Eason. Could very well stay this way. So what is 6 seconds behind Eason now. PK is out of DRS range. Very early on the accelerator. And there are gaps forming everywhere at the moment. However, they still need to pit. This is not their net positions. PK 8 tenths behind Sir Watty now, coming into the stadium section. Still battling to stay within that DRS. However, I think Sir Watty will be staying out, and PK might be going into the pits in this lap, as Focus went into the last one. Obviously, they didn't want to double stack. So does this mean that Sir Watty will not pit a no-stop strategy within the sprint race? PK's into the pits now. And Sir Watty takes the lead. 4 seconds behind the next person. This does not make any sense. There we go, Alex, P2. 6.5 seconds in front. So at the moment, if Sir Watty decides to pit now, he will be looking at probably coming out round about P9. Got Eason, who is 3 tenths behind Jamie, going up the hill. very heavy on the accelerator. Coming down into turn 11 now. He will have a DRS. Should expect him to take Jamie. Jamie is very good on pace at the moment. There we go, as he takes him into turn number 12. Bubba pushing hard up the grid. Chasing Van Bergen, and he's making progress. He's almost cutting 1/10 off per corner. There we go, now into turn number 19. He will have DRS going into the final straight. Final straight, starting straight, all the same. Got DRS open, and he's making way into turn number 1. Just not enough focus with the fastest lap at a 1:34.7. Who was chasing Johnny Oda. Bubba still chasing Van Bergen, 4/10 behind him now. Going up the hill into turn number 10. Back down the hill. He will have DRS and should be able to take him into the heavy braking zone. And here we go, going into the DRS. What happened with Jordan? I'm not too sure what happened with Jordan. There's been a couple of spins that have been happening, so it might have been like maybe he took a bit of a spin as well. We've had Focus take a spin. We've had Weybridge take a spin. Out of the S's, Focus took a spin a little earlier on. Bubba's still going for it. Gunning for Alex. He wants that P2. Van Bergen's trying to stay within DRS range at the moment. Focus is chasing Johnny Oda still. Coming into turn 19. He will get DRS here. Sir Watty is now finally pitting. Is he going to take him here? Yeah. I don't think he will. I don't think he will get close enough. Will he fit? He's not going to cover it off either. And there we go. Well, I did not see what happened with Jordan either. There's been quite a lot of racing going on in midfield. So, yeah, I didn't see. See Weybridge 21 seconds behind. I think that's... I was going to say, I thought that was a bit odd. 25 seconds. Bubba's still chasing Alex at the moment. I reckon he's going to have the pace to do it. With 5 more laps left. Into the DRS zone, into turn number 12 now. Van Bergen will also be chasing. Bubba out of battery. Could not take him onto the... Could not take him into turn number 12. Alex is still leading. One of the most solid drivers we have on the grid. Focus still trying to take Johnny Oda. He's been fine for a good couple of laps now. Johnny Oda doing a very good job of defending. Going into the right-hand turns. Into turn number 19. Focus will try to... He's got to nail this. He's got to nail coming out of this. Will he have the traction? Yes, he will. Is he going to make it stick? Into turn number 1. Johnny Oda covering off, defending hard. And he throws it. He's dive bombing. Is he going to make it stick? Is he going to switch back him? No, he's not. It looks like he's going to make it stick. Focus out game. Very good, very clean racing. Johnny Oda still trying to stay on his tail. He's just got to bide his time. He's got to stick with it. And don't flap. 5 times behind. He will get DRS going into turn number 12. Coming into this battle for first now. Bubba opening up the DRS. Chasing Alex. he juked it. Unfortunately, not that time. Johnny Oda, is he going to make a move into turn 12? Weybridge with another warning. That'll be 6 seconds now. He's going on the outside. They're sticking with it. Can he make it stick? Focus still on the outside, which is going to bring him on the inside. Very good, clean racing. Wheel on wheel racing. Here we go into the right-handers. Still side by side. This could be anyone's. Going into turn number 19. Focus is backing off. Johnny Oda, 3-second penalty warning for track limits. And here we go. Is he going to make it stick on turn 1 this time? Battling so hard up front. Battling so hard up front. Coming on the inside, Van Bergen. Not Van Bergen, Focus. Could not make it stick on turn 1. Chasing down Johnny Oda, who's doing a very good job of defending for many, many laps so far. Now these boys here are coming up to turn number 11. Into the DRS zone. Very hard on the accelerator. Chasing down Alex. They all want that spot. But who's going to get it? Will Bubba take it? IPAC. Track limits. He's dive bombing into turn 12. Oh, they've made contact. Coming into turn number 13. Is he going to switch back in? He's going to try. Oh, and he shut the door on him a little bit. Oh, Alex done a very good job of defending there. What a race we're having at the front here. Baba versus Alex. Alex defending very hard. Van Bergen and Easton just kind of biding their time, seeing what's happening. However, we are running out of laps. Focus on Johnny Oda, again, side by side, going into turn 19. Johnny Oda defends again. Defending hard. However, he does have a penalty. So Baba made it stick on turn 1. Going into the S's now. Modelled after the Silverstone S's. The Maggots and Beckett's and all of that good stuff. And now going up the hill. Baba trying to build a bit of a lead up. Went a little bit wide there. Going back downhill into turn number 11. Alex will want to keep it nice and tight here so he can get the DRS. And Van Bergen bumps into Alex. We got Van Bergen right behind Alex. Both have got DRS. And nobody makes a move. That S section is like the Timo version of Silverstone's. Yes, it is, but it's modeled on that nonetheless. So Focus and Johnny Oda still fighting into turn 12. Coming into that stadium section now. What is going to happen? One of these two is going to have to let it go at some point. Johnny Oda switchbacks him. Beautiful racing from these two. Very clean. Both of them still side by side coming into turn 19. Again, PK just lurking up behind and Focus is off. PK is through. What is going on here? And Focus didn't get DRS. So it looks like Johnny Oda is backed off quite a bit. So Focus in ahead. PK, his teammate, right behind him. Let's see what's going on here with the battle at the front. Bubba's still doing. We've got 2 more laps left. This lap and 1 more. Coming downhill into turn 11 now. And Alex, again, will want to keep it nice and tight. Will Van Bergen go into the back of him this time? No, he's not. And now we're just going to hit the ERS. Get that throttle down. Open up the DRS right about now. Are they going to make a move? He's going deep. Oh, beautiful. Faking another dive bomb from Alex. And Alex has taken it. Van Bergen and Bubba are now fighting. Bubba's now dropped down to P3. Going up to turn number 20. And this is the all-important lap now. It all counts on this lap. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want the whole race. It all counts on this lap. Van Bergen dukes it out. Bubba goes in that deep on the inside. There's contact. Van Bergen coming out on the inside as well. And they're going too deep into the S's. Oh, and there's a spin from Alex. Can you believe it? Oh my God. Van Bergen chasing down Bubba. I did not see what happened there. Who touched who? Was it maybe a touch too hard on the accelerator coming up the hill now? To turn 9. Now down into turn 11. Will Van Bergen make a move on this lap? Ethan Lewis diving in deep. Who's going to come out on top on this lap? Alex dropped down all the way to P5. Easton on the inside of Van Bergen. Both of them leaving plenty of space going into the stadium section. Very heavy on the accelerator. Shot in the door on Van Bergen. Jordan with a 3-second penalty for track limits. Chasing down Bubba. It looks like Bubba might gonna be taking this one. However, you can never count out Easton. What a great driver we have on the grid here. Into turn 19. Into the final turn of lap number 14. And your race winner, 007. Bubba, followed by Easton Lou, followed by Van Bergen. The great drive from Jamie Biden this time behind. Alex, unlucky, spinning out on the S's. Focus coming in at P6, PK at P7. Johnny Oda just behind it at P number 8. Reversing over, Sir Watty, P9. And then we have Weybridge, who took a very, very unfortunate spin earlier on in the race. And possibly had some damage as well. Jordan taking over IPAC on the final lap, finishing at P11. And IPAC coming in at P number 12. Ah, what a race! What a race. Wow, so we have the driver of the day as Eason started at P10 and working his way up. 007 Baba with the fastest lap and the race winner. Sir Watty with the most overtakes, and the cleanest driver is Eason Liu. Straight out of China. P10 to P2. What a drive. Everybody on a one-stop. Sir Watty was the only one starting on the mediums, going on to the hards. I think it could have maybe gone from the mediums onto the softs. And then Weybridge going from the softs onto the hards, which I was quite surprised about. What a race. Now, that was race number 1. That was the sprint race. Now we're going to be going on to the feature race, which is going to be a 35%er, which is going to be off the original grid of the qualifying that happened before this. What a race. Right, guys, make sure you stick with us. There's going to be another race in the next couple of minutes. I'm going to go and get a quick drink, and then I will be back to commentate on this game. Wow, what a race our first one was. Make sure you stick around. We are now going to ready up, guys. We are now going to ready up. 20 laps of the finest track in America. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 20 laps of the feature race in the Circuit of the Americas. 5.513 kilometers per lap, running anti-clockwise. We've seen some great overtakes here. We've seen some great battling between Focus and Johnny Oda, and at the front of the pack as well, 007 Baba, Alex, Van Bergen, all up in the mix. Eason from P10 to P2 in the sprint race. What a performance. He is pole position for the feature race. One of the fastest guys we have on the grid. Alex, very unlucky, spinning out on the last lap of the sprint race. In terms of race strategy, I mean, there's a few strategies. I'm assuming that everyone's going to be doing a one-stop. Are we going to see mediums onto softs? Are we going to see people going from softs onto mediums or hards? The variety is there. Let's have a look at the race director. So it looks like Many started on softs. Baba starting on the mediums from P7. He's going to have to fight his way back up. Just finished P1 in the sprint race. So what's on the mediums? Baba on the hards, switching on the hards, going long first. IPAC also on the hards. And Weybridge and Sir Watty starting on the mediums by the looks of it. Jordan also starting on the softs. Alex will want redemption, starting P8. He was battling for P1, P2, P3 this whole race, and then spun out just at the end of the S's on the very last lap just now. Ah, what a race. What a race so far. So this is your grid. Eason Liu 25 in the Haas starting in P1. Focus in the Williams at P2. Second line of the grid. Jamie in P3 in the McLaren and Van Bergen in P4, who's currently joined by his new teammate Johnny Oda in P6 and PK Patrick in P5 just ahead of him. There's been some great battling going on. 007 Baba on P7, but we can see from the last race he is no mug when it comes to racing. So P7, he could well end up at the front again. However, Eason and Focus, I reckon, will pull away pretty quickly. The pace that they've been setting has been very, very high. Alex at P8, he's got some work to do as well. Oh my God. This could be a race and a half. You are in for a treat, ladies and gents. So what's he on P9 when Weybridge at P10? Weybridge is usually not that far down. So he must have not really been practicing Cotta too much. But when he's practicing, that kid is usually up there with the rest of them. And then we've got Jordan and IPAC making up P11 and P12 respectively. So we are going to ready up very shortly and going to get this race underway. Here we go. The lights are on. And off we go. Eastern Focus getting a very good start. Taking a straight, going on the inside. And is he going to make it stick? It looks like he will. Easton coming on the outside. And there's contact between Van Bergen and Jamie. 10-second penalty, corner cutting for Weybridge. Coming into the S's now. Easton Lou still at P1. Focus has lost the position. Took it at turn 1 and gave it straight back. Coming in down to turn 11 now. Pack is very, very tight at the moment, as it would be on lap number 1. Weybridge right at the back. I don't know what's happened there. Straight line speed. Who's got the better straight line speed? It all looks pretty equal. We've got PK who's just popped himself out. Alex trying to make a move. Alex will want to get up that field super quick so you can stay within DRS range and also start chasing the front of the pack. Into the stadium section now, into the right-handers that are modelled on old Istanbul track. And there's a problem at the back. Looks like Jordan might have spun out or something, or maybe got touched going into one of the turns. And here we go. This is where it all counts. The DRS is now enabled as per the FIA race control. Thank you very much for the FIA for enabling DRS. Here we go into the S's now. This is where everybody can make up the time. It's also where everybody can break the track limits, and this is where they'll get their warnings. Johnny Oda and Sir Watty battling. Johnny Oda has had very good qualifying. He's been practicing quite a lot this week. And now coming into 3-second time penalty for IPAC. Focus just quite not close enough to take on Eason into turn number 12. Sir Watty dive bombing on the inside to Johnny Oda. Johnny Oda pushing him out. Looks like there was no space left from Johnny Oda. Johnny Oda tried to muscle his way, tried to get the elbows out. And Sir Watty slightly coming off track. Both of them going wheel to wheel into the right turns. Sir Watty pulling away now slightly into turn number 19. Johnny Oda going very wide. And now into turn number 20. Is anybody going to make anything stick here? No changes to the grid so far. Coming down now into the SS, turns of 3, of 6, 7, 8. Here we go. Focus trying to stay real close to Eason. PK currently 1.7 seconds behind Van Bergen, who will not have DRS. However, Alex is behind him, who will have DRS. Trying to get out the slipstream at the moment, and Alex is going to make a move here. PK is not going to fight it by the looks of it. Sir Watty is going to make it stick against Johnny Oda. Johnny Oda taking the inside. Sir Watty will now have the inside on this left turn. Oh, and he... Oh, bit of contact there. Going now into turn 19, still wheel on wheel. Sir Watty's slightly ahead. Now into turn number 20, where Johnny Oda will have DRS. Why would you dive bomb there? if you don't have DRS. Johnny Oda has DRS at the moment, so what he doesn't. So it's going to be very... Oh, and Weybridge pops it out. Tries to take the inside there, 3 deep into turn 1. Weybridge comes out on top of all of them, gaining 2 places in 1 turn into the S's. Well done, Weybridge. This is the Weybridge that we know. When this kid turns it on, he can turn it on. Johnny Oda, 3-second penalty for track limits. And now coming into turn 11, focus on Eason. Is he going to try and make a move? He should be able to make something stick here. He's got DRS wide open. Taking the inside. Eason giving him plenty of space. PK and Alex still battling. Alex still behind PK. Coming out of turn 12 into turn 13. Into the stadium section now. Alex still can't quite make it stick. PK still defending very, very well despite not having any DRS. Coming into the right-handers now. Let's see what's happening at the front of the grid. Eason still P2 for the time being after being taken over between turns 11 and 12. He will now have DRS. Will he have enough to make it stick? Focus will be bleeding that battery dry. And he doesn't quite make it fit. 007 Baba already inside the pits. Weybridge and Sir Watty battling into turn 1. Will he switch back in? He will not have the space to switch back him, I don't think. And Jordan coming up now with Baba coming out the pits. Jordan still chasing IPAC, who has a penalty. Weybridge still chasing Sir Watty. Wanted to go up that grid. Sir Watty will have a lot of work to do. 6.3 seconds behind Alex. That's a big old ask from everybody who's a DRS chain in front of him. In fact, no, I'm talking absolute rubbish. He doesn't have a DRS chain. Alex has now overtaken PK finally. Focus has now dropped down. No, he hasn't. Still up front. Eason's still trying to get past, and he dive bombs into the inside, leaving him plenty of space. They're going to go wheel to wheel into the right-handers. No, and Focus will still stay ahead. Great defending. Jamie, very good on pace so far. Same as the last race, just biding his time, waiting for mistakes from the front. DRS is now wide open, chasing down Focus. Is he going to make a move? He's going to make a move. No, he's not. He's going to leave it for the time being. Now coming back down into the S's. Generally no overtaking done around there. Weybridge still behind Sir Watty, still can't make it stick. Johnny Oda currently in the pits, same as Jordan. Johnny Oda back out of the pits. Let's see what's happening out the front. They are now approaching turn 11, where the DRS check zone is. Remember, if you're less than a second behind the person in front of you during the DRS zone, you will get to open up your DRS right here. And Eason will make it stick this time, surely. IPAC, another penalty for track limits. You can see on the rearview mirrors, Focus right behind him now. No dive bombing going on. Going into the right-handers now into turn 19. Not much happening around here at the moment. Going into turn 20 where the DRS detection zone is, and we are now back onto the starting straight where you'll open up your DRS. Are they going to make a move for Eason this time? Looks like Focus is marginally gaining. Eason will be bleeding that battery. So what is still ahead of Weybridge. PK in the pits. IPAC also in the pits. Let's have a look at some tyre changes. 007 Baba went early onto the hards. IPAC onto the softs. PK with very fresh mediums now. However, the front of the pack all still on softs, all have not pitted yet. No, he's not going to make a move just yet. Weybridge on Sir Watty. Will he make a move? Sir Watty's covering off the inside. Weybridge going really deep on the outside. Trying to dive bomb on the inside a little bit. Backed out of it. Johnny Oda, 3-second penalty for track limits. He was 6.5 seconds behind 007 Baba. Baba trying to make some gains on PK. And we are now seeing the front of the grid is starting to pit now. Eason and Jamie are staying out for the time being. Jamie will want to try and keep within DRS range here. Oh, nearly took a spin. And PK on the outside of Van Bergen makes it stick. PK defending heavy against Van Bergen, going into the S's, coming out of there. Now going on the uphill section, who is also a 1.5 seconds behind Focus. Will Focus let him into the DRS range or will he not? It looks like he will not. PK defending the inside into turn 11. And Van Bergen looks like he got a decent launch out of that, and he should be taking him here as PK does not have DRS. Van Bergen will make the move now into turn 12, and we also have Alex, who is right behind him. PK losing 2 positions in one corner. Unlucky. Unlucky. This is how valuable DRS is. And now here we go. Van Bergen chasing down Focus, trying to get into DRS range. 1.3 seconds going into turn number 19. Will he have enough to make up 2 attempts in that short amount of time? No, he will not. Got more people pitting at the front. Sir Watty is staying out. He's the only person, him and Weybridge, that have not pitted here. Weybridge is in the pits right now. So Sir Watty, we are waiting for him to pit. So this is not the net position. So as it stands, Focus is the leader once Sir Watty will pit. We've got Johnny Oda DNF and an IPAC DNF. I don't know what happened there. I did not see what went on. Coming out of turn 11 now, will Van Bergen have enough to make a move on Focus? Or will he just stand back for the time being, maybe save his tyres a little bit? Alex doing very well so far, starting at P8, moved on to P4 already. Eason also right behind everyone else. Johnny Oda, I'm so done. OMFG. Oh my freaking God. What happened? What happened, Johnny Oda? Tell us what happened. We did not see how this finished. Got Eason now coming into turn 20. Chasing down PK. Will he have enough to make it stick into turn 1? So what he finally pitting. So this is the net grid. Everyone has now had one pit stop. This is the order that it will be in for the remainder of the race, unless they are overtaking each other, obviously. Going into the S's now. Focus being followed by Van Bergen, followed by Alex, who has now finally overtaken PK. Eason Liu will be looking to make a move on PK. PK with a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Eason faking the dive bomb. Will he have enough traction to come out of here? DRS is open, so is... Oh, Johnny Oda, chill out, mate. Alex is still chasing down Van Bergen. Eason really wants to get past PK. Once he gets past PK, it could be anybody in the top fours. Could be anybody's. Coming now into the starting straight. Is anybody going to make anything stick on turn number 1? It does not look like it. Everybody's way too spaced out. And not in that way. With 007 Baba is out. A DNF has just happened and we can't see what's happened. That's a big blow. 007 Baba, the sprint race winner on the race just before this. Weybridge now into P8. Big gaps are starting to form now. Alex has finally taken... Johnny Oda, if I don't get a podium this season, I will retire. Emotions are running high, clearly. So, yeah, sleep on it and we'll carry on. It's a very, very tough grid. Everybody in the top 5 are top drivers. Very hard to beat. Focus still holding off Van Bergen this whole time. We only have 9 laps left. We've got Eason, who has just made a move on PK. PK staying behind. Eason, will he drop out of DRS? To Alex. Alex will be pushing and pushing and pushing. And Eason will have DRS. So will PK. Also, PK still has a penalty, which will be added onto the end of the race. Now going into turn 1. There are no moves being made into turn 1 this time. Still got Jamie 2.9 seconds behind PK, trying to make up some time. Weybridge is slowly making progress on Sir Watty. And it looks like we have dropped out of DRS. Eason is dropping out of DRS slowly. And he's made the time back up going into turn 11 now, where the DRS detection zone is. And it's all about the launch out of here. Going in towards turn number 12, it looks like we'll all stay exactly the same. Focus building a massive advantage now. Almost dropping Van Bergen out of DRS. Going into the stadium section now, these little chicanes, little windy roads into the big left-hander here. And now into the right turns. Van Bergen will be draining that battery to stay within DRS range. We can see that Focus is currently blinking, meaning that he is recharging all within less 10% of his DRS. Van Bergen's made it. He's kept his DRS. However, we can see that Focus has been charging, so he will use his battery here to defend. Looks like Easton is making a little bit of headway now. Going into turn 1 and then back down the hill into the S's. PK is slowly dropping back little by little. He'll want to stay within that DRS range of Easton, or once you're out of that DRS range, it is very difficult to get back into it. And Van Bergen still the same now, coming up here, going up the hill, going back down the hill towards turn 11 where the DRS detection zone is. It looks like Van Bergen is out of DRS, which is difficult. This will open it up for Alex now to make a move onto the straight, heading down towards turn number 12. Will he have enough? Van Bergen is flashing that he is not currently using his battery. Will this be enough to make a move? He's faking the dive bomb and he will bide his time for the time being. Van Bergen will need to fight very hard now to get back into DRS range. Alex with a 3-second penalty on track limits. Sector 2, there's a caution somewhere. Where's the caution? Was it Jordan in Sector 2? It might have just spun out coming up the hill. Unfortunately for him, 20 seconds behind Weybridge. That's a lot to make up. Van Bergen does not have DRS, and neither does Focus, obviously, because he's leading the race. Will Alex be able to make a move? I don't think so. Now going back down into turn number 2, into the S's. This is where he needs to make that time up. Now coming into this left-hander here, up the hill. Van Bergen just inside the DRS range now. Made up all that time, worked very hard for it. And he will be rewarded with DRS coming up down this straight just after turn 11. Weybridge with another penalty for track limits. Track limits are brutal around here. And we're going to see Eason try to make a move. He faked the dive bomb. And Weybridge with another penalty. What is going on here? This is not like him at all. And there's all the battling going up at the front now. Van Bergen's... he'll be bleeding that battery again to trying to get within DRS. Focus's tyres will be screaming from all the defending. He has literally just been saving that battery and smashing it to try to defend against these DRS streams. Looks like Alex might be out of DRS. No, he's still within it. PK out of DRS. Difficult to make up that time. Jamie has made up roughly about a 10th per lap on PK. He could maybe be making up a little bit more now that PK is out of DRS range. So PK will have to work hard to get back in within that. This could still be anybody's race. So it looks like Van Bergen is making up all of his time against Focus. He's definitely stronger on Sector 1 compared to Focus. However, Focus makes up most of his time within Sector 2 and 3. Eason just faking out the dive bomb again. Getting no reaction from Alex. Very disciplined drivers going into the long straight now where there'll be DRS. Coming into turn number 12. Weybridge with another penalty. Kind of feels like he's given up at this point, which is it's a bit of a shame to see. He's definitely better than that. Focus slipping a little bit. Going into the right handers now into turn 19. Very nice. Hitting that apex there into turn 20, into the DRS detection zone. Is anybody close enough to make a move? Everybody has DRS. That's the problem. Jamie has dropped back now behind PK. He was within the 2.4 seconds, dropped back quite a bit. And Sir Watty also 13 seconds behind Jamie, which is not great. So it looks like the top 4 will be battling it out. to see who can make it stick within the next 4 laps. Out of turn 11 now. Will he get the run? Very heavy on the accelerator. DRS is open. He's lost 2/10 from that spin. But he'll be making them 2/10 up with his DRS back open. Into turn 12 now. It's been a very difficult drive this. The top 4 really trying hard to get battling each other and to trying to take positions. Very hard when everybody's got DRS, but there's also, it all comes down to who has the better launch out of the corners. Don't forget, Alex still has a penalty to serve as well. Penalties, 3-second penalties. PK on 3-second penalties and Weybridge on 9 seconds, which is very much not like him. Weybridge 52 seconds behind the leader, so what is 21 seconds behind the leader. It's very tight in the top 4. Coming through the S's now. On the left turn, now up the hill. Into turn 9. Now coming up to the DRS detection zone. It is all about the launch out of turn 11 here into this braking zone. And you can hear where people will always go a little bit too hard on the accelerator, costing them valuable time, unfortunately. DRS now open. Still nobody can get near Focus. Focus is driving an absolutely unbelievable race here. He's barely had to defend. His driving was that good. He's just keeping people off of his backside and just, yeah, what a perfect drive. Still no movement in the top 4. It stayed like this for the last sort of 5-6 laps. PK dropping off slightly every single lap. Jamie still dropping off slightly every lap. The tyres at this point they'll be screaming. And now Van Bergen with a pretty decent launch out of that turn. Will he make it stick into turn 1? I don't think so. Half a second behind still. And then this is where Focus has been shining in sector 1. So he's half a second ahead now going into the S's. Van Bergen really trying hard to keep within it. So he's gaining 2/10 in sector 1 pretty much every time, 3/10 almost. And now coming into turn 11, just past the DRS detection zone. Easton Lube with a bit of a spin coming out of turn 11. Will he have enough? No. Fastest lap set by Weybridge. That's why he's just pitted, I think. Just faked the dive bomb. Still, Alex is not biting whatsoever. He's way more experienced than that. But you gotta juke it, ain't you? You gotta juke it. You gotta do what you gotta do. Still Van Bergen, not really his strongest sector this time around. A bit of a spin there from Focus. Coming into turn 19, up into the last corner. Here we go, lap 19 off this 5.5 kilometer track, going into turn 1, into sector 1 again. But like I said, this is Focus's strongest sector. This is where he makes up most of his time. Hopefully he might get Van Bergen out of DRS zone this time. Van Bergen will have to fight hard to stay within it. Another 3-second penalty for Weybridge. He's collecting them like Pokemon. Going into turn 11 now. Will Van Bergen get a better launch this time? It looks like he hasn't. It looks like Focus has still got the better launch out of it. I don't think there's going to be any moves made here. If you're looking at the timings, nobody's really gaining on nobody. Alex is gaining on Van Bergen. Still not close enough. Three-second penalty for Jamie for track limits. People are getting absolutely smashed on them. Coming into the right-handers now. And the penultimate lap into turn 19. And back into the Andretti now. This is it. It's going to be the final lap. Will Focus keep his focus, pun intended, to win this race? Up to the big red. 133 feet going up, 40 meters elevation, all the way up into turn 1. Van Bergen will have to keep his nerve here through the S's if he wants to make a move down the DRS straight. Through the S's now, the top 4 have stayed exactly the same. Jamie with the fastest lap and just must have pitted. He is now 8 tenths behind Sir Watty after that pit stop. Going up and now down to the bobby pin. Will Van Bergen get a decent exit out of it to chase down Focus? It looks like he has not. And Easton has also got a 3-second penalty. So it looks like Focus and Van Bergen will take it even if Alex and Easton overtake them, because they both have 3-second penalties. Into turn 12 now, going into sector 3. The stadium section. Focus has driven brilliantly in this race. Barely had to defend because he's just been keeping everyone at an arm's length. Now into the... Easton has made a move here. Or is making a move. Alex is making a move. And... oh! Alex is off! Still nothing lost. He went for glory. It didn't quite work out, but he's still in P4, and we have the winner of the race. Focus at game. P2 Van Bergen. Alex in P3 and Easton P4. What a drive. PK P5, and we've got Jamie and Sir Watty coming up now. Sir Watty will not be close enough to make a move into the final corner, into the Andretti. And then we still have Weybridge, who is now coming into sector 3, into the stadium section. Jordan, who is currently coming up to turn number 12. And this will make up the rest of the grid. P8 for Weybridge and P9 for Jordan, unless something drastic happens here to Weybridge now. 007 Baba, we obviously had big hopes for him, won the sprint race, DNF'd in the race. Johnny Yoda DNF'd and IPAC also DNF'd. So we've got Weybridge doing a quick starting sequence here. Jordan coming around the corner now, and that makes up the rest of the pack. Well done to Focus. What a brilliant drive. Barely had to defend, just clean driving. Made sure he had the better exits coming out of turns. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Two very good races. That sprint race we had before this was insane. If you joined us for that, then you know what I'm talking about. We had Alex spinning out on the last lap, which was crazy. Weybridge spinning out early on as well, which messed up his race a little bit. Baba, 007 Baba, who won the race with a brilliant drive. There was loads of battling going on in there and in the midfield, and this feature race, it was all about the top 4. Once PK dropped out of DRS range, that was it. Them top 4 were just pulling ahead lap by lap. But what a great weekend. What a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to be next week in Monza. So make sure you tune in for that on the 24th of May, which is going to be 2000 hours on European time, 7 p.m. UK time. And we will see you all there. Come and join the Discord if you fancy having a go. You can join us at any time, okay? Just message us, get on the Discord. You can drive, you can spectate, you can commentate, you can be a steward, whatever you like. Just get in touch and we'll be able to accommodate it for you. But thank you very much for joining us today, and we will see you all next week.